go back, I get my ultrasound to follow up to see what's going on. No kidney stones, no bladder stone. Gone. Completely painless. Completely painless. And all I did was follow. Hey guys, how's it going? Hope you're doing great wherever you are in the world. My name is Chris Becker, stage 4 cancer survivor turned biohacker and longevity explorer. And today I'm going to be sharing with you a completely natural, pain-free protocol to remove kidney stones and bladder stones from your body. Keep watching. Now, I know this is a very important topic because it's a very common problem that a lot of people experience. And I hear it's extremely, extremely painful. I've heard women say they'd rather give birth than have a kidney stone. And thank the Lord that I have not experienced this pain because of the protocol I'm about to share with you. So first, some backstory. So I like to train weights, right? I like to get it in. And I was doing deadlifts one day. Okay. I was doing deadlifts and I decided to go a little heavier a little too soon. Right. And so I do it. I do a couple reps. I immediately put the weight down and I go, okay, that's enough. I can tell something don't feel right. That's not the best thing for me to continue to do. So I stopped immediately and just went on with I think I left the gym after that point. I think that was my last exercise. So I hit up my local guy here that does ultrasounds. That's his business. He does ultrasounds. He's a doctor overseas, but technically here he's not a licensed doctor, so he can do things like this. And his practice is really cool. He does, of course, the pregnant women ultrasounds, right, to check on the baby and all that. But he also does ultrasounds of people's entire body to check for any problems that you can possibly want to check for. So I'm like, okay, well, let me go see if I have a hernia. I'm sure he could help, right? Because I thought maybe I caused an issue because I was having a lot of abdominal pain from those deadlifts. And so I go in and make an appointment, right? And he checks no hernia. But since we're already in the abdominal area, he's like, well, let's just check everything. So we do. We check liver, gallbladder, pancreas, aorta, kidney, bladder, prostate, everything. And we're going through everything. And he starts telling me what's going on. And we get to the kidney, and I only have one kidney, by the way, due to my surgery I had to have 7 years ago now for testicular cancer. I had a big surgery, and they had to unfortunately take my left kidney with the mass that they removed. So that's why I only have one. But we go to check the right kidney. There's 3 large kidney stones in my right kidney, and I'm blown away because here I am. I'm a very health conscious person. And I had no idea I had 3 kidney stones. I had no symptoms, no, I would never have known. And we discovered a bladder stone on top of that. So I'm freaking out a little bit, right? And he's telling me all this as we're doing the ultrasound. And so now I have this information, however, right? I went in there to check for a hernia and I came out with a lot of very, very vital information. So what do? Well, I go to my other doctor's office where I met this gentleman. They work kind of together and they kind of send each other patients. So that's how I met the ultrasound gentleman, was through my clinic that I use here locally in Las Vegas. And he goes, or I go to my doctor and I tell him what's going on. He goes, oh yeah, I just did this protocol. I had a kidney stone and I got rid of it completely naturally and pain free. And I'm like, really? He goes, yeah. I'm like, okay, well, sign me up. And so he tells me what to buy, and I buy it, and I'm on my way. And that was it. And so I do the program, or I do the protocol for 60 days. I go back, I get my ultrasound to follow up to see what's going on. No kidney stones, no bladder stone. Gone. Completely painless. Completely painless. And all I did was follow. So take some herbs and drink some lemon water and all that. So what I'm doing now is I'm going to show you this exact protocol that I did so that you could just copy it the same and get the same result that I did. Now, I do recommend that you find a guy find a provider, I should say, who does ultrasounds like this as a business. Like you make an appointment and you just start doing an ultrasound. I paid $125, guys. Okay. I didn't talk about insurance. Insurance. I mean, what a waste of time and energy that is to have to go through the insurance. You have to make an appointment with your primary. Tell me you want an ultrasound for this. They're going to have to send you over there, send you here. It's going to be weeks by the time you get it done. And all that to save $100, $125, $150. It's not worth it. find a local person that does preventative ultrasound and like just ultrasound for babies, stuff like that as a business, and go to them and get this done today, not tomorrow. Do it today, right? Do it right away. And you can, or whenever their next availability is, and you can get this information fast. So I highly recommend that you do that. You guys need to have these kind of clinics and people on in your phone book, because these are the people that save your life. So let's get into this now. All right, so here is the remove kidney and bladder stones naturally with no pain protocol. All right, so first, here's a list of what you're gonna need. You're gonna need fulvic acid by Humalife USA. Fulvic acid is the primary ingredient inside of a substance called shilajit, if you guys have heard of that. But basically, it's a detoxifier and it helps the cells detox and it helps break down the stones. So fulvic acid is a necessity in this protocol, and I highly recommend you get it from Humalife. They do something with the frequency and they make the product just extremely well. And I bought this at my doctor's office, so that's why I recommend it, because they're selling only the best stuff. All right, number 2 on this list is Sambong capsules by Volcana Life. So Sambong is a proprietary blend of herbs that helps remove these stones from your body. It helps break down the stones and all that. The problem is Sambong is very hard to find online to buy. Once again, I bought it from my local clinic here, and I checked online actually prior to making this video, and there's only like one website that sells it directly to you. Most of them are like clinics that you'd have to be a patient of or whatever to buy it, right? Because it's technically like a pharma grade substance. Like it's sold only to clinics, and usually the type of clinics that buy these are your smaller, independent, alternative medicine, functional medicine clinics. It's not going to be your standard medical office. They aren't going to have any idea what Sambong is. Okay. So stay away from your standard medical office because they won't know anything about these things. You have to find those other clinics to get Sambong, but you absolutely need to get it because it's vital to this protocol working. And number 3 on the list is Stonebreaker capsules on Amazon. So I decided to double down on the stone breaking supplements. So I decided to stack both of these together. Okay, this wasn't necessarily prescribed from my doctor, this third item, but I figured, you know what, let's just add it because it was a separate set of herbs inside the Stonebreaker product than from the Sambong. So I said, let's just attack these stones from all sides. Let's not take any chances. I want these stones gone. So I grabbed that and I added that to this protocol. And then last but not least is just lemons and apple cider vinegar. Those are very easily, readily available at your local supermarkets. Okay, so step 1 is the fulvic acid. So what you're going to do is first thing in the morning when you wake up, before you eat anything, okay, you're going to mix about 2 teaspoons of fulvic acid into 5 to 8 ounces of water and drink that before anything else. Okay, very simple. You want to do this on an empty stomach. Step 2 is going to be take 2 capsules first thing in the morning on an empty stomach. You can take them with step 1 with the fulvic acid, right? That would make the most sense. So just go ahead and take your first 2 capsules of this product in the morning with the fulvic acid that you did in step 1. And then you want to take another 2 capsules later on in the evening, preferably on an empty stomach, guys, because this works better on an empty stomach. So take it about 2 hours after you eat. Make sure it's about 2 hours in between the last time you've ate before you take the second 2 to the best that you can. I will say that I wasn't perfect with this, guys, because I understand it's hard towards the end of the day. It's hard for me to go 2 hours without eating, or you could take it before bed. So you shouldn't eat 2 hours before bed anyways. So that would be the best time, but I would even make my mistakes, not going to lie. And I still had good results. All right. So step 3 is going to be take 2 capsules of Stonebreaker supplement daily, any time of the day. And I usually take it along with step 1 and 2. When I take the first dose of Sambong and when I take the fulvic acid, I just usually throw these in there just to get it done. Why not? Right? Why wait? But if you forget for whatever reason, you could take this any time of the day, 2 capsules every day. And last but not least is step 4 here. You're going to squeeze 1 lemon and 1 teaspoon of apple cider vinegar into a small glass of water and drink 2 to 3 times per day. So you're going to do this before you eat typically. So don't do it after you eat. I just say do it before you eat. That'd be better. And then wait a little bit after like step 1 and 2. I would say like maybe an hour or 2 later when you're going to finally sit down and have breakfast or whatever, then drink this little cocktail right before you eat and then go about your day. And then just do it 2 to 3 times per day, like before your meals, basically, right? Before breakfast, before lunch, before dinner. And that's what I did, right? I just drank this 2 to 3 times per day before a meal. And that's pretty much it, guys. You're going to follow this program for 60 days, and then you're going to do another ultrasound to confirm the results, confirm that the stones are gone or have been completely, at least drastically minimized. And you'll know if you should continue the protocol for another 30 days or if you're good at those 60 days. So your doctor's going to be amazed by these results. My doctor who told me about this protocol, oh, there's a spelling error there. He used it, like I said, he used it on himself, many patients, including me, and I got rid of 3 large kidney stones and a bladder stone, all without pain using this system. And it was just, guys, it was a blessing. It was a blessing. Me getting that minor abdominal injury or whatever it was that sparked me to go to the doctor in the first place to check, to get an ultrasound, is what discovered these kidney stones and the bladder stone. So I'm forever thankful for that. And now, actually, what I do is I go to get that ultrasound now. I follow up like every 2 months, basically. I go get an ultrasound. I go check on all my organs. I check to see what's going on, right? Because knowledge is power. And when we have the knowledge to take action, we can now take that action, right? And prevent the issue from getting worse. So for me specifically, I had no idea I had those kidney stones. I had no pain, no symptoms. So if I didn't know I had them and just time would have kept going on, who knows what would have happened. And the traditional medicine route would have you do surgery or this crazy supersonic sound wave thing where you get into like some tank thing or whatever it is, and they just basically shock your kidneys with a bunch of sound waves to break up those kidney stones. The problem is it's like punching your kidney 1,000 times. It's very painful later on. You're sore for a very long time, and probably not the best thing to do to your poor kidney, right? Kidneys. I keep saying kidney because I only have one. But anyway, yeah, I'm very fortunate that I discovered this, and now I do ultrasounds regularly. I highly suggest you find someone like that, like I said earlier, to do these kind of checkups, these routine checkups to check on your body. Because if you know what's going on, you can take the action and prevent it from getting much worse. So that's it for this video, guys. I hope you found it valuable. Please give it a thumbs up if you liked it, and please share it with someone you think who needs to remove these kidney stones from their body, and then subscribe for more wellness and biohacking content coming your way. See you in the next one.